What's up, everybody? How y'all doing, man? Welcome to episode 10 of the 120 gallon plywood aquarium build. Where we left off from episode 9, man, we have, this came out decent, you know. We just glued them, so we didn't screw them, we didn't nail them. And basic square for this side, nothing too complicated. On the other hand, this side was a little more difficult. We have the top for pretty much feeding the fish, the bottom for the filter, the plug, etc. So what happens next? What do we got to do next? And that is pretty much this. We're gonna have to measure out the acrylic, cut the acrylic, and we're gonna pretty much put a little silicone on it and stick it right to it. Both sides, as you can hear that thunder. This side will be a little harder to cut, but not too bad. After we end up putting the acrylic on, we're then going to put another piece of wood on top because it'll be pretty even. So these two sides here, I want this to be able to just slide right in. So I'm going to use the two top braces to slide it in. So first off though, we got to get this acrylic on, and then we're gonna figure out how we're gonna slide it, make it, you know, really cool. Also putting a front on this as well to really hide anything on the top. So let's get into it, man. So the way I'm gonna measure this is I'm gonna put tape. So we'll check this out. You can just see the side, just a little bit of sanding, but besides that, we are definitely very even. Alright, so now we have both tops done. You can see the little overlap. That's for the sliding in and sliding out. That's so the top doesn't fall in the tank when we got water in it. I wanted to give me a little safety net when it came to the tops here, to where it'd just be easy to put on, put off. When it comes to these epoxy tops and, you know, doing it yourself, now that you see, hey, we have this, everything's cut out, it looks nice, and now we have to epoxy everything. Once we epoxy everything, we'll set it back up the way it is. We'll get the clamps on it, and we're gonna put drill a couple holes in, put put some screws in after that. We'll then epoxy a little bit again. We'll epoxy over the screws. We'll hide everything we have to. That's just for these two sides here. Then it comes to putting the cover over it. Now building the cover, it's either a 2x3 or a 2x4. And what we're gonna do is build it pretty much to go over these two top pieces. And that's when the routing and the detail will come into play. And when you're looking at it, you know, that's gonna be the money shot. So you see how much goes into it though, how much time it takes. It can get aggravating at times because, you know, you run out of pieces of wood, you know, just things happen. You cut the acrylic too short, you don't cut it short enough or on point, and you got to take off a little bit. You got to take the router out, reroute. So there's so much that goes into it to make it as detailed as you want it. But the main thing now is we got to take all these pieces and epoxy them. It's going to be first on one side, then on the other side, and we got to get them back to where they are. So it's looking good so far. A little time consuming, but you know how it goes, man. It's all about the prepping. So let's get into the next step. Alright, so we got a coat on the smaller pieces here. I know we're gonna have to put a second coat on, and we will probably have to sand a few of them, being that we do get drip marks. When you're doing the epoxy projects, usually the smaller pieces of wood are the harder things to epoxy. So we'll give it a little bit of time. Hopefully we can get this done today and we can get it all put together. So let's just wait for it to dry. Alright, before we get started and start putting some things together, I just wanted to double check, make sure everything is looking good. What we're going to do next is whatever is going to be against the acrylic, we're going to sand the bottom. And that's going to be that. I feel like both tops look pretty good right now, and it'll look even better once we get everything on and where it needs to be. So this is how I plan on doing it. Alright, we got the first one done. Everything fits. The only thing left is to epoxy both sides, because I did go through with the nail gun. So I kind of got to fix the bottom of it as well. But for the most part, I think it came out pretty good. I did the harder side first, but I just wanted to get it going, and these were the pieces that I had first, and I just wanted to get this done with. Honestly, this has been a really long project, and there's been a lot of moving parts to it. I mean, for something so small, it's, you know, it packs a punch. So let's get this one done, and then we'll epoxy both of them together, and we'll get the final results. Alright, so we ran into a couple minor small problems. Got a drill bit caught right in there, so I'm gonna have to just fill that in with epoxy. Pretty much use the drill bit as a screw. The epoxy will hold it in place though. But other than that, I think it came out real good, man. Like you can see what I mean by sliding in, sliding out. And you know, once we get everything in there and the way we want it, it'll have a nice slide to it. But next thing up is epoxying and making this really look sharp. So let's do it. Alright, so I taped everything, but this is a great example here of showing that you can fix a mistake. Now, like I said, the drill bit got caught. Good thing it acted like a drill, because it's going through the acrylic here. So that's pretty cool. What we're going to do is just put epoxy right in that. Now, there's some sides that don't really need much epoxy. We'll put a coat on anyway, but there's other sides that definitely need a lot. So just going over all the screw marks, kind of covering everything up that is an eyesore. So simple as that. So we're going to mix up some epoxy and put a nice coat on. Alright, so it came out really nice. I really like how this came out. Of course, I've been taking my time. I've been really taking each step slowly, prepping everything the way I have to prep it. It does look so nice, and it's kind of wild to think that now we got to make a cover that looks really nice, that goes over this. And this took a while. This took like 2 days. Maybe longer than that, because of all the epoxy in each side and cutting everything. I mean, but it came out great, and I am not mad at it at all. But now it's about figuring out the cover and making a really nice top to go over this. So that's what we're going to concentrate on. And I think I'm just going to cut a piece of acrylic, and this will kind of be a flap to go over, to open and close. So let's figure out how we're going to cover this. Alright, so I'm gonna try to create a canopy, and the first thing I want to do is frame it out to where we're gonna have enough height on it. That's for one, and for two, it's gonna be so when we put our piece of wood on the side here, we're gonna have enough room without scratching either side. So that's super. Doing this on top of the aquarium too, because I want to make sure I got the dimensions perfect. Alright, so before I decide to route the boards and put them around, it's pretty important that maybe I put something in the middle right here, because obviously we could have an issue with bowing. It is hot and I am covered. Alright, we sanded that down pretty good. Now we're going to route these three pieces so we can get them around the canopy. Alright, so I routed the front one. I also routed the side one, and this is what I'm talking about with trial and error. So it's going to be like this. So you can see that it's not going to look good. I'm going to have to reroute it anyway, and it's probably going to be off because of that. So I always speak about the trial and error, and the only way you do things and figure things out is to do the wrong thing. And it kind of, tells you something in your brain that, hey, this doesn't work. So if we come over here, see, now we're looking at just a flat piece, regular piece. I recut it, and we're going to put it on just like that. And then we're going to have to just route it from this point. So just small things that I'm just picking up as I go. So that'll pretty much be that, the way it goes. It'll pretty much be in, and yeah, then we'll turn the corner with that. Clearly trying it on this side, that ain't working, as you can see. So we're gonna put two regular pieces on both sides, and then we'll route the sides once we get everything on. I just feel like that's going to be the better way of doing it, and I'll only have to route both sides, and it should come together pretty good. So let's put this together. So now that we know that this fits really well, once we paint it up, get it the same exact color, that's going to be really nice. But what we do have to do is we have to put a little flip right here for the feed-in, and that can pretty much be that. I think it'll look real nice, but if you think about it, you're not looking at it from the top, you're going to be looking at it from the bottom, so that's going to be a better idea of what you're going to be looking at. So once we get it all painted nice, it's really going to come together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the stand. We're going to get this on the stand, and we're going to take a look at it before we go any further. So let's do it. Structurally, the stand is complete. The only thing left is to put the plywood on the top right here, and we're also going to put plywood on the bottom. Once we do that, then we're going to put all the trim around it as well. But it's looking good so far. Alright, man, episode 10 is finally over. It has been a really long episode. It actually has taken me quite a bit of time. The canopy, you know, I am a little shaky on it. I'm not sure if I do want to keep it this way or I might want to make something different in the future, but right now we're gonna rock with it. We're gonna see how it looks when we do finish everything. As far as the stand, I do need to put the trim on it. We're gonna make some doors, and I do want to make an epoxy shelf as well. So there's quite a bit of work that needs to be done, but it's a lot of stuff that I want to do personally to finally finish this project. So hopefully in the next couple episodes, we do have everything set up, everything looking really, really nice, man. But as for episode 10, we're out. I'll catch you on episode 11. You know.